All right, Dana. I mean, these polls, obviously, but sounds a little cocky.
I think she's funny, and I think she's got charisma, and I think it's great that that's the way she answered it. She's just basically she's having fun, but also keeping the mystery alive. And look, if that is the matchup, we're going to have a heck of a election season, and I will look forward to all of it. I do think that the Democrats are a little bit high on their own supply at the moment, okay? They're going to shelve their 2024 autopsy report.
Right.
They're like, you know what? We actually don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about why we lost. In fact, we've got him on the ropes. We're not scared of him anymore. We know the economy is going to be in the tank, and the president. I just don't think that's true. As I said in the other previous block, I think the best thing the president has right now for the midterms is the fact that the economy is poised to really do very well next year. So that's what I would say. I think that she's funny, and I look forward to seeing this matchup.
Yeah, that was a playful answer, Jessica. We're not going to beat her over the head with it, but you know, it's game on. Let's go.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, her politics have always been, you know, to the left of mine, but
is that possible?
That is saying something.
I'm like a very conservative Democrat.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I think Harold Ford is.
That touche. Yes, Harold is certainly more conservative than I am, but I'm definitely in the middle to the right side of the party. And I thought it was a lot of fun. Who knows what the matchup will be, if she's going to run for Senate, and then she could do Senate and the presidency potentially. But what I do think is interesting, at least on the Republican side of things, is the question around whether J.D. Vance is a slam dunk, right, to be the nominee. Trump has said, oh, J.D.'s been doing a great job. Of course he would be. I'm sure Marco Rubio is interested in this. I'm sure that other names will pop up. Maybe Pete Hegseth is interested in, or people we're not even thinking about. So Greg is pointing at it. Greg is running for president.
That's true. That's true.
Greg, your name was mentioned. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you. I've always liked this floor. Yeah, you know, we were joking about kind of the spectrum of what a Democrat is. Jessica considers herself more of a moderate Democrat. Harold Ford is more moderate than she is. But what is the spectrum of a Democrat when 200 Dems in the House vote against a ban of sexual experimentation on children? Like, where is there is no moderate in that. There isn't even liberal in that. That is just repulsive. I mean, and you know that they're going to say they're doing it for compassion. They're going to game that phrase. They're going to say they're protecting the children's freedom to have their genitals cut off by some medical fetishist butchers. And this, I think this is a lesson for all of us. We are told often that woke is broke. It's gone. We beat it. It's over. As long as this is going on, woke is still alive. There's still a bunch of sick, craven cowards who are politicians, and they put their fear of activists before the concerns of kids. They need to be shamed for this. I mean, 200 of them? Does anybody ask them why?
Can I say something about that? Because I mentioned that the autopsy that the Democrats were going to do would have shown them that one of the issues where they lost the most, maybe a 97-3 issue, or we'll call it an 80-20 issue to be fair.
It's the sunk cost.
They don't want to know about it, so they want to continue to vote that way and not have to look backwards.
Yeah,
it is one of the reasons that they lost.
It's fear, and it's the sunk cost fallacy that they put all their eggs into this horrible basket, and they can't admit they went down a really, really dark, bad path, and they got to pay for it.
And I'm sure AOC was one of those 200.
No, yeah, one of the 200 that vote for it. I wrote down the names of ones who didn't. Cuellar, Vicente Gonzalez, Don Davis, were the Dems that voted to not do that, voted with Republicans. On the Democratic side, AOC against JD. It was the Verisight poll. That's your favorite poll as of right now. You like Reuters a little.
Yeah.
But Verisight's your second. Emerson had JD winning 44-41. She gets people under 35. She gets Hispanics. JD's got everybody else. I also think Republicans also going to get in the race. Youngkin gets in. I think Kemp gets in. DeSantis gets in.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised Tom Cotton gets in.
Wow.
On the left,
Wow.
I think Bashir, Shapiro, Mayor Pete are all going to jump in. And probably somebody that's just going to surprise me.
Gavin Newsom, or he's at?
Oh, yeah, Gavin
Yeah.
Newsom.
Does Hegseth get in?
Not if JD runs, but if JD doesn't run, I think
He doesn't run?
I'm just saying. Now, he would never go. This is like family. JD, Pete, and Rubio. Rubio said in that article, I'm not going to run if JD.
Did you see Rubio on the age of disclosure? No. Why? Nobody here
Going
has
to
seen
watch
that
it.
movie.
We're going to watch
Have
it.
you seen Age
Oh,
of
UFO? The
Yes.
UFO movie?
He's on there. Something's going to happen
He's
before
getting
then.
questioned. He's getting questions about that movie.
Yeah.
He has no.
No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. No, I mean, I'm a skeptic, and that movie is pretty. I mean, the fact that he's in it, that's a big deal.
I feel like we should all watch it and then have a segment.
We should do an entire special on
I
Fox
want to do the
Nation.
Grok segment.
Yes.
It was so funny.
Grok said Greg was smarter
Oh,
than I was.
speaking
Now
of.
I hate Grok.
Never mind.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.